Dear students, the individual coming to a doctor expects relief from his pain. This is the obligation of the doctor to address the problems, health, medical problems of the individual. Likewise, the community expects relief from a community physician. The community in large will have a common problems, say epidemics, endemics. Those things supposed to be addressed by the community physician. The main role is the community is not visible and even approachable. A system is needed to address. A manpower is needed, human resources with capacity building is needed, and the other material is needed. And what is exactly happening? A communication system is needed for monitoring the what we need, what is the expectations from the community. That's why a complex mechanism of administration is needed to address the health problems of the community. With this background, let us move the how to address the health needs of our country. Human being is a social animal. That means human being is dependent on society. Likewise, society is also dependent on human being. Say, in a family, each and every individual health is concerned by the family head. Not only all his needs, and individual family member needs supposed to be addressed or attended by the family head. For that purpose, they earn all these things. Like that, the society is also enlarged as having an obligation to address all the needs of the members of its society. One of the major need of a individual or society is health. Likewise, the whole society is together called as a nation. That means the elected body or government or whatever maybe it is say it is a there is a king. King is also having his own obligation to safeguard his own citizens. That's why they're concerned about the health of the each and every individual member of his country. That's why the national health programs were designed for the purpose of addressing the health needs of our country or our nation. With this background, I am going to switch on to the subject proper and the background of the entire programs. Health program or program, whatever it may be, is a plan of activity for the purpose of attaining some objective. The activities generally go in line with the policy. Say, each individual have its own personalities. That's why perceptions are different from individual to individual. The same class heard by many people, the assimilation of the subject will be differed from one person to another person. Why? Because the personalities are different. The personalities, attitudes, what it may be, listening capabilities, what it may be, all depends on the background of schooling, education, family, environment, all these things. Through it only people will learn the something. Like that program also generally designed keeping a policy. That means policy is actually one of the uh, center point of any planning, any program. Hence, all the national programs presently working in India supposed to be centered around one policy. Earlier to 1983, it was primary health care or basic health care. Those policies were there. They're not clear in it. They are just following the WHO guidelines and international guidelines who came from the slavery. So in those days, those governments addressed the more epidemic and endemic communicable diseases and maternal child health areas because the 60% of the population, natural population, are consists of reproductive women and children below 15 years. In 1983, actually early to 1983, the Congress government has been, the Indira Gandhi government has gone, and Janata government has came. So that government designed one policy that is exactly fitting to, that was exactly fitting to our Indian environment, where the voluntary health workers at villages have been developed by Rajanarayan minister. What will be earlier to that area, that is 1977. There is one policy was there. After 1977, the Alma Ata Declaration has come. The primary health care has been implemented. The Alma Ata Declaration means the WHO has given that declaration. Afterwards, keeping that 1978, the Indira Gandhi government started working on it, and they developed a new policy, that in 1983 Government of India National Health Policy, call it as. After that, this national health policy was not being addressed because of many reasons. A stable government has formed by Vajpayee government, and then also people worked on it. In 2002, a new national health policy has come that integrated medical care thought has been come. Then actually we call it rural health mission. Many programs have been integrated. Once again, UPA government has come, and the UPA government has not addressed any aspects of, not changed any aspects of Vajpayee government in health policy. It has been continued. In 2014, the Modi government has come, and they abolished. Earlier, in 2002, the health program, the policy has developed, keeping the 5 years plan as a framework. But Modi government has removed the 5 years plan. Niti Aayog has come. So the frame is not there. Policy is there. So hence policy is supposed to be changed. So once again, people worked on the national health policy. In 2016, a new health policy has come, keeping 4 major areas. The 4 major areas are, first of all, what are our health priorities? The earlier, our health priorities are maternal and child mortality. So no maternal deaths supposed to be there. They're supposed to be nullified. We're supposed to bring back to the normal on par with the developed countries. And child mortality was more than 140 earlier. Now it has reduced to very optimal level. And still we're supposed to work on it. I'm not saying we're already addressed many child mortality problems, but it is declining and still more declines as the service quality increases. The second one we are more bothered about is a lifestyle disease. We call it non-communicable disease. Stress factors are increasing, industrialization, mobilization, all these things are happening. And the road traffic accident. So it is these are all chronic diseases. Once people landed in these problems, the lifelong the morbidity carries. Our efficiency comes down. Each person's individual efficiency comes down. And expenditure on medicines increases. Say at the 30 years or 35 years, people started anti-hypertension, anti-diabetic drugs. You're supposed to carry those medicines lifelong. Say every month, minimum 100 years, 100 rupees. So 1000 each person supposed to spend on health for maintaining the normal blood pressure levels and normal glucose levels. So this is one thing we supposed to. So health priorities earlier are communicable diseases, maternal mortalities and childhood mortalities. All these things we generally used to have. So tuberculosis program, anti-tuberculosis program, anti-malaria program, anti-leprosy program, so on. Many diseases. But we never bothered. There was no national hypertension program, anti-hypertensive program, anti-diabetic program, anti-cancerous programs, anti-accidents programs, anti-mental health programs. No such national programs were there. Not there. Now, those supposed to be addressed because country is developing. The second one is earlier only doctors and medicines, some ordinary investigations, which can be done by ordinary microscopes and lab technicians. Enough. Ordinary X-ray plant is enough. Now there are CT scans, MRAs, interventional uh, interventional medicine, and there is a radiation therapy. Many um, surgeries also, laparoscopic surgery, endoscopies, many aspects of it. That means the technology started coming into the medicine, the science field. So without any electronic goods, all these things, we can't expect a medical treatment. Majority of diagnosis now depending on the equipment. Earlier, the doctor's intelligence, experience, people used to depend on. The senior doctor is there, his diagnosis is fine. No, there is no objective based diagnosis. They used to examine and they used to come for the diagnosis. Now, The each diagnosis is supposed to be confirmed by the equipment, technology. That's why there is a rapid development of um, healthcare industry. Say our growth rate, Indian general growth rate, developing growth rate is say 5, 6, 7. We never cross 10. But just see the healthcare industrial growth. It is double digits. It's not double digits. Actually, it is crossed even 20 sometime back. So the Indian industry, healthcare industry has developed 20 points. Like that, so many foreigners used to come to India for getting treatment. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, even American and Europeans used to come because the health expenditure to them it is very lower and very quality health care is being provided by Indian corporate hospitals. Apollo, you go, you will see many foreigners. That's why the robust health care industry is developed. When one way the such very sophisticated healthcare is being provided, it is not reachable to the ordinary man, middle class man itself. What about poor? Poor also not getting it. They are compelled to go to ordinary hospitals, ordinary nursing homes, and government facilities, health facilities. How many people are going to get a delivery in government hospitals, primary health care, second, and CHCs? No one are choosing. All are going to nursing home. So this is the third. That's why people are spending a more. This third area. The people, though free medical care is available in government services, majority of people, actually productive people, are not taking the services from government agencies. From their packet, they're spending and getting a better health care from the private industries. There is this middle class community start exposed to the catastrophic expenditure on healthcare costs. The out of pocket money, you call it as, that is going on increasing. Being the quality or qualified healthcare facilities not available in village, the quacks are still a major health source, health providers to the rural public. They cannot give a free medicine. That's why all rural people going to a quacks, that is RMP doctor, generally we call it as RMP doctors. People are paying and getting the treatment because to the rural people coming to the PSCs, leaving their work on the day and coming along with some person and taking meals, all these things, and travel cost, all these things, they're supposed to bear it for getting a free treatment. So expenditure for travel, losing wages, all this, say 100 rupees, say 100 rupees for that day. They lost the wages, all these things. It's very less I'm taking. It is a 200, 300. Let's say it is 200 rupees. They're supposed to lose all these things and they're supposed to get a treatment. For what purpose? Getting a paracetamol, vitamin B complex, some treatment. Say with 10 rupees or 15 rupees, the quack will provide those treatment. Why should they lose the wages? That's why the rural people are also choosing the private agencies, and middle class people at the cities and towns are choosing the private agencies. And who are going to the government facilities? The people no not able to afford the charges, the poor people, slum people, uneducated, all these things. Those people are actually utilizing the government services. So this gap is supposed to be reduced. So say then if government starts giving such services, at government facilities, the expenditure increases. That's why we're supposed to plan for providing such care, health care through private hospitals. That's why private hospitals are supposed to be promoted for giving free treatment to some persons. So this we call it as economic aspects. So there is a gap developed. Gap developed. Say income from the health facility areas or some taxes, what it may be, and expenditure on it is a gap developed. Income is less, expenditure is more to the government, or loss is more on medical budget. So we call it as fiscal capacity. The enhanced fiscal, the gap, call it as economic income and expenditure gap. Income is less, expenditure is more. So these four areas, the national policy um, has taken care of and designed a new policy in 2016. Primary aim, National Health Policy 2017. Strengthen and prioritize the role of government in shaping health system in all its dimensions. Investments in health, organization of healthcare services, prevention of disease and promotion of good health. Earlier, promotion of health of good health was not there. Access to technologies, developing human resources, encouraging medical pluralism, building knowledge base, developing better financial protection strategies, strengthening regulation and health assurance. So these are all the areas, these are the dimensions of a new health system. Present health policy, goals, principles, and objectives. Let us explore and understand. Goal or goals are the policy envisages, that means visualizes. It is going to attain the following. These are nothing but policy goals. To attain the highest possible level of health and well-being through a preventive and promotive healthcare orientation by universal access to good quality healthcare services without financial hardship by way of increasing access, improving quality, and lowering the cost. The key policy principles are professionalism, integrity, and ethics, equity, affordability, universality, patient-centered quality care, accountability, inclusive partnership, pluralism, decentralization, dynamism, and adaptiveness. These are the principles. So whatever services that are available, they're supposed to possess all these characteristic features. We are going to discuss these things in detail. The objectives are progressively achieve universal health coverage. So every individual of the country is supposed to have a accessibility for healthcare system, reinforcing trust in public healthcare system. Now people are going to private hospitals. No, let people have a trust on the public health system also. following the growth of private healthcare sector with public health goals. So there won't be any much difference between the public health and private healthcare system regarding services point of view. So what are all the services available in private sector also supposed to be addressed by the public health sector. So the gap supposed to be reduced. Those are also going to be achieved. That is the exactly objectives of the present policy. Specific quantitative goals and objectives. That means these are not vague issue. A number will be there. So what is the percentage of achievement of our goals? We are going to have in one directional aspects. So these have been decided in three headings. That is A, health status and program impact. What is exactly happening of individual health, community health status, and what is the impact of our program on these issues. That means some indicators supposed to work on it. So those indicators supposed to be improved after our implementation of health services. Second one is health system performance. How best the health system is performing. So we are also going to study through this policy what is the impact of our services and whether those uh, those aspects have been really done because of our health system performance. And third one, health system strengthening. So present health system is a little bit primitive. It's a known fact. So that's supposed to be strengthened. The system is supposed to be strengthened. Equipment is needed. Capacity build, the training is supposed to be needed. How to access the technique, learn the technique, how to use the technique, how to interpret the technique in the field and understand the disease, how to do all these things. So health system strengthening is correct. So these are all the three areas we are going to discuss. Health status and program impact. I already told some quantitative indicators we are going to develop. So number one is life expectancy and healthy life. Increase life expectancy at birth from 67 years, presently 67.5 is there, that to 70 years by 2025. This is one of the goal. Second one is establish regular tracking of DALIs. DALI is what is the actually we are losing our productivity by particular disease. So each category of disease to 2025 we are going to get the information and this is supposed to be reduced. So DALI's assessment is going to be there. Till now, we are not having particular data for each disease, how much DALI's we are losing. We are just roughly calculating, but not really being done in India. So experience of the foreign countries, we are just estimating that so many tuberculosis cases are there. That's why you are losing this much DALI's. But really, we have not done such exercise. Now people started working on it. And third one, reduction of total fertility rate. Earlier, it is the net reproduction rate. Now, it is total fertility rate to 2.1 at nation and sub-nation level, the state level, at 2025. Regarding mortality by age and cause. So, reduce under 5 mortality. It is more important. Under 5 mortality is 23 by 2025. And MMR, the maternal mortality rate from current levels to 100 by 2020. And reduce infant mortality, that is IMR, to 28 by 2090. And reducing neonatal mortality to 16 and still birth rate to single digit by 2025. These are the quantitative targets or health status indicators, we can call it as. Health status and program impact is continued. The third area is reduction of disease prevalence, public incidence. Now, directly, we are going to have a targets or benchmarks regarding disease prevalence and incidences. The number one is achieving global targets of 2020. So, what are the diseases referred in that category? Generally, people call it a target of 90, 90, 90. That means the 90% of the people who are suffering with the, so X number of people supposed to suffer with a particular disease. Among them, 90% supposed to know that I am suffering from particular communicable disease. So that means 90% diagnosis supposed to be happen. So 10% may escape because of many aspects, non-accessibility of diagnostic services, ignorance, illiteracy, non-accessibility, non-affordability, non-reachability, all these things, operational failures, false, false negatives, all these things come across. That's why 90% diagnosis is supposed to happen among the people really present in that community is supposed to know that we are suffering from particular disease. Say HIV people. HIV people are say 100% are residing in one district. Among them, 90% supposed to be diagnosed that they're supposed to know that I am suffering from HIV or obligates. That's number one goal. Among them, 90%, they're supposed to receive antiretroviral treatment. There is another thing. So those who are diagnosed, actually, I supposed to say it is supposed to be 100%, but they're also 90%. Because the 10% maybe they're not interested, they want to go to another treatment, homeopathy, allopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, Yoga, many things are there. People are having, because they have right to go to their own system of belief. This way, okay, 90%. So 90% of them who diagnosed that they know that they are the sufferers of particular disease, they're supposed to get treatment. So for in HIV, they're supposed to take antiretroviral treatment. Among them, 90% supposed to properly respond. That means they're supposed to be cured. If HIV people are there, virus suppression is supposed to be there. No resistance supposed to be developed. So if tuberculosis is there, every person is supposed to be 90% supposed to get cured. Like that. So this is one of the category of communicable diseases. So here the HIV has been taken, like that many communicable diseases will be there. Not tuberculosis and leprosy, that's different. The another area is the second area is endemic area. Certain areas in the India are global also. Certain areas are more endemic. Not entire country is we don't know what is Kala. We don't know either lymphatic filariasis. In some areas, we don't see any lymphatic filariasis. Some areas we see. So lymphatic filariasis, these are the things. Area wise, some areas the people have a something else will be there. So in leprosy, there is a elimination is supposed to be there. So in those areas, leprosy should not be seen. No new cases. Kala that no new cases after 2017. And lymphatic filariasis, no lymphatic filariasis after 2017. These are the goals we were having in 2016. Actually, by return 2017 has come. But the entire thing is developed in 2016 and finalized. To achieve the third one, the C, to achieve them and maintain a cure rate of 85% new sputum positive patients for tuberculosis. So tuberculosis is another big area. That's why tuberculosis has been particularly taken. Globally, it is not Indian. Globally also. And reduce the incidence of a new case. The incidence means new cases. The incidence there are tuberculosis and eliminate by 2020. So no new cases supposed to come after 2020. To reduce the prevalence of blindness. Now blindness is one of the major disability our country is facing. So after one particular age, people develop some cataract, all these things. So, बुढ़ा हो गया, so you cannot see. Those things are there. So old age is one of the problems. They can't hear properly, they can't see. These are all the natural one people used to say. No, the quality of the geriatric healthcare also in quality of life supposed to be improved. So these are also preventive blindnesses. So preventable blindness in due in old age or even vitamin A deficiency blindness, we can prevent 100%. So these things supposed to be reduced. So 25 per 1 lakh population. Here in our slide it is mentioned 0.25 per thousand population. That blindness supposed to be reduced. So disease burden supposed to be reduced. And fifth one, to reduce premature mortality from non-communicable diseases. There are 5 non-communicable diseases are there. Cardiovascular disease, cancers, diabetes, chronic respiratory diseases. Because COPD or asthma, both are same as per our public health point of view. So cardiovascular diseases, cancers, and diabetes, and chronic respiratory diseases, these incidences or prevalences supposed to be, the mortality rates supposed to be reduced by 25%. That means the early diagnosis is supposed to happen and early addressing supposed to be there. So all cardiac vascular problems, if you going to diagnose at early stage, all complications of cardiovascular hypertension can be reduced. Likewise, diabetes also. Cancers, there are preventable cancers. Those all preventable cancers properly screened, they can be reduced. So these are the some quantitative measurements we developed for understanding what is the impact of present health policy we're going to see after 2025. Third, quantitative objective, the health system performance, the coverage of health services, the cross-sectorial goals related to health. So different departments are also going to work on the particular health goals. So let us see what is the coverage of health services. This is utility of health facilities. Utility of health facilities. While I was working in PSC, only the headquarters population, say PSC is located in headquarters, some of the village, mandal headquarters, what it may be. The method is 90% of the cases comes to the PSC only from that same village, not distant place people population. Say 5 kilometers away, 10 kilometers away from the PSC in same mandal, they don't come. So only few people come. So what is the need? So keeping the PSC, only one village people are getting services, not other things. That's why the utility of the public health service is supposed to be increased. So everyone supposed to come to the PSC headquarters for this accessibility there. Some transport system supposed to be there. Otherwise, our number of PSCs is supposed to be increased so that the PSC is supposed to be shifted to each sub-center, each One medical officer is supposed to be there at sub-center level, even at village level. It is not possible. I'm taking good way. For example, otherwise, some other way, say telemedicine, all these things, we can bring so that the utilization of public health facility will be increased. So this one thing, one of the quantitative uh, goal or objective people have developed. The second one is antenatal care coverage, and all delivery is supposed to happen under skilled people. So some qualified person supposed to conduct the delivery, not quacks, not mantrasanis, not traditional dayas. Some unqualified people, trained people, supposed to conduct the all deliveries. So that there is 90% of the delivery is supposed to be. And newborn people supposed to be fully immunized. The universal immunization program supposed to be 100%. So more than 90%, not 90%, more than 90%. Best 100%. But people don't say that because in public health, 100% achievement is the bogus number. So there will be some failures will be there. We say that's why 99%, 95%. This is whatever may be. More than 90% of newborn, that is the infant, supposed to get immunization before the completion of 1 year. So all newborn supposed to get all vaccines according to their schedule within stipulated time by the end of 12th month. And fourth one is family planning. So every eligible couple supposed to practice one or another birth control measure. And fifth one is non-communicable diseases, addressing non-communicable diseases at the doorsteps. And they're supposed to be maintained, say hypertensive cases, diabetic cases. They need not come to a secondary level or tertiary level for getting relief from the complications. Once you address in early stage and maintain the normal hypertension and normal blood glucose levels after diagnosis, by anti-hypertension drugs, anti-diabetic drugs, or anti-hypertensive lifestyles, anti-diabetic lifestyles, whatever it may be. They 90% should not come to even tertiary care. There is no, they need not land into complications. Hypertension is not the disease. Hypertension itself is not the disease. No symptoms will be there. Once hypertension constantly establishes, then the organ failures develop. Organ failures develop. That is the problem. Even the hyperglycemia is not the problem. The hyperglycemia, after sustained hyperglycemia, there will be a organ failure will be there. That is going to reduce the quality of life. That is making the people supposed to get the complication of the disease. So these are the things. That's why the household level maintenance is one of the thing of criteria of prevention the all the complications of the diseases. That's why this is the coverage of health services. The system supposed to be there so that these things supposed to be addressed. The second area is cross-sectoral goals related to health. So different departments supposed to work on it. So tobacco is there. So tobacco utility or productivity, what it may be, growth or utility, supposed to be reduced. It is not the health department activity. It is agriculture and the commercial area or something area. Some other area, other departments supposed to work on it. Reduction of chronic malnutrition. It is also not the health department aspect. Actually, so women and child health, child welfare services, they provide the nutrition, all these services. That's why all the under files supposed to be properly addressed so that they do not land into chronic nutritional problem, which indirectly we can assess by stunting of the growth. So the height will be stunted. So this is another thing. So chronic malnutrition problems should not be there. That supposed to be addressed by the Women and Welfare Department. And third one is sanitary water and sanitation, village sanitation, urban sanitation, whatever it may be. It is also not addressed by the health department. It is supposed to be addressed by the other department. In villages, panchayat is supposed to address. In cities or towns, it's supposed to be addressed by the municipalities. So Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, all these things have come into the force. It is not addressed by the health sector. So it is another department supposed to take care of. And reduction of occupational injuries. So agriculture laborers used to get many injuries. So those injuries also supposed to be reduced. This is the department. This is Department of Agriculture. There is occupational injuries in mines. I worked in Singareni. So daily used to see number of injuries, minor, major injuries also. Even life-threatening injuries used to happen. So there is a safety department which is there in the mining system. In that I was one of the member in safety committee, and we supposed to assess which come, what are the steps supposed to be taken to prevent the accidents of the laborers. So these have not been addressed by the health department. It is the mining department supposed to take it in mining areas, factories, persons supposed to take in agriculture persons to take. Like that, another department supposed to involve in preventing those things. In national and state level tracking of selected health behavior. It is a healthy behavior. Say extramarital life, the prostitution, actually commercial sex work, then terrorism. These are all the some things. Problems are there in different areas. Those things supposed to be tracked properly. There is another area. So behavior, healthy behavior is also one of the thing we supposed to work. So it is not this second the cross sectorial goal related is not being done by the health department. In the another ministry is supposed to address these areas which is interlinked to the health status of the country people. So we're supposed to understand this. The fourth one is health system strengthening. So finance area supposed to increase, improved, budget supposed to be uh, properly given, budgeted to health department, health activities by the government, the health infrastructure and health resources supposed to be improved, and health management information are supposed to be there. So these are the things. Same paramedical doctor, availability of paramedical doctors, and health, public health standards, norms. Actually, it was not there. And then voluntary health workers at villages, ASHA workers, all these things. These are also been given in health management information system. And PSC is supposed to be re-established. Some mandals are having two PSC, and some areas two mandals are having one PSC. And say some area 1 lakh population, for 1 lakh population there is only one single PSC. In some area for each 20,000 population are having PSCs. So actually, many regions are there. What that may be is not properly distributed. So the establishment of primary health centers and secondary health centers, area hospital, tertiary care, secondary care, what it may be, these are restructured properly, and these are also supposed to be addressed. So the health finance, so money is supposed to be there. So budget allocation is needed, and health infrastructure and human resources. So now actually people are asking for more medical colleges, 75,000 new medical colleges are coming, all these things. But there is no teachers. So properly not planned earlier. So we supposed to have a many post-graduation institutes, and proper experience supposed to be there for postgraduate persons in teaching and training activities. After that, they will be eligible for teaching, and quality teaching will improve. So suddenly, how best we can introduce the many medical colleges within 5 years, 75,000 extra. So what it may be, the more MBBS doctors are required to the India, or as per our population requirement. The government had taken that. Let us first start um, increasing the basic doctors' strength in the country. So many medical colleges coming, and that's why in course of time, all other aspects will be addressed. That's why even MCA also abolished, and the National Medical Council has come. It is going to address properly to meet the goals and objectives of the national health policy. I think so, because earlier the MCA is obstructing a lot. Actually, red tapeism, we're supposed to call it as, for a simple thing, they are not giving permissions, recognitions to the MBBS colleges. I think there is going to be a lot of changes while providing permissions, recognition to the MBBS. College restructuring, redesigning, and regulations and standards are going to come in in coming future. I think so. So these are all the things we're supposed to keep in our mind. So policy trust. So policy is going to address certain areas, ensuring adequate investment, the finance. So adequate financial investment is needed on health. So one of the things, it is a big chapter. It is not necessary. That's why this is one financial investments are going to be addressed. And preventive and promotive health, the another trust area. Health in all, earlier health for all. By whom? So everyone is supposed to think. So health in all. So everywhere you see, that's supposed to have a component of health. So health in all approaches, whatever it may be, financial health approach supposed to be, commercial health approach, production health approach supposed to be there, and in education health approach supposed to be there, and in occupation health approach supposed to be there. So health is one of the component of a human life. So whatever activity human being doing, and in that health supposed to be there, health aspects supposed to be addressed. Say while I was giving suggestions to the software industry, say Microsoft, all this, it is one of the occupational health area where I was occupational specialist to give proper suggestions. In that, many people, I'm talking about nearly 2008 aspect. I worked there for 2 years. So there, many software engineers are having many problems. Nystagmus was there, dry eye is there, some postural disorders, pain, back pain, neck pain, arm pain, whatever, many pains, and stressful jobs, psychological problems, sleeplessness, all these things. These are all the problems of software companies staff. So these things, I have given many. So for example, so while seeing this one of the company is people are getting a more postural problems. So say actually backbone pain. So people are coming from particular company. So I just visited there to see exactly what is there. Nearly, I have seen nearly 30 to 40 cases are coming for this back pain and neck pain. After visiting there, I have seen, I have observed, their chairs are not properly designed. Low quality chairs have been put, and they're supposed to adjust with the height, all these things. They're supposed to maintain a very bad postures to attend their daily activity. and they're supposed to finish the entire target given for that day. This way they have to actually maintaining a very bad process. So that's why so there I suggested to change the chairs. Afterwards, the back pains, all these things completely reduced. Actually, they thanked me a lot. The different thing. So this thing. So health in all aspects supposed to be there to provide health for all. The one of the thing earlier people used to have health for all, forgetting health in all. So second one, empowered public health cadre. So actually, see here, general medicine, cardiologist, neurologist, these people are being properly respected, and people used to think that those subjects are very valuable. But thing is, most valuable. Say today, Corona has come. No cardiologist, no neurologist, no super specialist, pulmonologist are going to work it. The entire public health is needed to reduce the mortality rates. All nations are completely washed away because of the corona. Now only the specialization working is public health. So public health is one of the very important. Once a public health is properly strengthened, many things are going to happen. So empowering the public health cadre is very important. The earlier in early of our independence, as per the district level protocol, DMLS used to be a second position after district magistrate or district collector. Now, after district collector, IPS officer, after some other IAS or IPS, it is now I don't know which rank the protocol is there. The DMLHO, the district officer of medical department, is a very unseen person, unacceptable, and no one is bothered about the DMLHO cadre. So this and in English British time, the doctor is very important because their military, their officers' health supposed to be safeguarded. That's why second one after district magistrate is to be DMLHO. So this was there. So second one is empowering public health and the policy identification. Swachhata, Swasthata, and Prasannata. These three areas are there in health policy. The Swachh Bharat is there, and Swasthata, there is a balanced health diet, regular exercises, yoga has come, the alcohol, tobacco consumption, drug abuse is supposed to be reduced, and our these are the actually health promotive activities. So these are the things swasthata, and prasannata. The prasannata, that is prasantata, the peaceful, will come suraksha and nirbhaya. And actually rapes are going on. So suraksha, no theft. If you go out, no need not bother about it. So surakshata, nirbhayata. No problem if you go there, no violence will be, no terrorism, you will come back safely, all these things. There won't be any gender violence, all these things. That's supposed to be there, the nirbhayata. And swechhata, that means if you have a freedom of expression, freedom of thought and peaceful area, you don't get any stress. People are worried about what happens tomorrow. This fear complexes should not be there in our community. So these are the policy trust we are having. Policy trust is continued. Organization of public health care delivery, the primary care services, continuity of care, secondary care services. This also is going to be addressed a reorientation, orienting the public hospitals. That means strengthening, equipment designing, all these things will be there in public hospitals. That's government hospitals. Public hospital means government hospitals. So the district level MRI is going to be established. Scannings will be established. Like that. The closing, infrastructural human resources skills the resources and skills. Those gaps we are there. Those gaps are going to be filled. So closing those gaps at infrastructure. Infrastructure means equipment. Infrastructure means microscopes, um, diagnostics material, medicines, and surgical instruments, surgical rooms. These are actually, while I was working in a PSC, there was no oxygen cylinder also, no nebulizers. So people, if a child of 12 years comes with actually I experienced it. That's why 12 years child came to me at status asthmaticus. I can't do anything. No nebulizers. At that time, by God's grace, I was having aminophylline. So I given a aminophylline drip, and if people required, and afterwards I referred it to the district hospital. That's different thing. So simple nebulizer, if available, it would be better. So that was the infrastructure availability in PSCs in those times while I was working. So these gaps is the infrastructural gaps supposed to be closed, and human resources. So many PSCs today also, without MBBS doctors, they are running. The pharmacist is to run. So I was actually working in a PSC. If I have any meeting at district headquarters, I supposed to attend. Who is going to look after the PSC on that day? The pharmacist. AN is supposed to treat cases. Where they supposed to go? So if I want to have, if I am having a meeting at 11 o'clock, I suppose start by early morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, then only I can reach within time. So on that day, I can't go to PSC. Say I wish to have some leaves for my family, to meet them for family needs. In those days, who was the another doctor going to address that? So because the leave absenteeism of doctors, nurses, all these things. So manpower also the another problem. So primary healthcare services and continuity, these are the closing human resources gaps are supposed to be closed. The urban healthcare, earlier there is a, while I was studying, so there was no primary health center in urban areas. Slums people are supposed to go to private doctor or government dawakhanas. No primary health centers. Nowadays, urban health centers are there. For all slums in Hyderabad, in municipalities of Telangana, every slum is having one urban health center. So these are the things people are addressing. Now it is exactly topic we supposed to cover up. So these are the national health programs mentioned in the National Health Policy 2017. In park, many programs are there, not that much important. These are the actually important programs present. So many programs are presently mentioned in our park is integrated in these programs only. Now these are the national health programs. So number one is RMNCH plus A services. I'm going to read what are those. And child and adolescent health care. Intervention to address malnutrition and micronutrient deficiencies. Universal immunization. Communicable diseases. Control of tuberculosis. Control of HIV/AIDS. Leprosy elimination. Vector-borne disease control. Non-communicable diseases control program. And mental health, there is a national health program, and population stabilization. These are the national health policies. And the other aspects in the national health policies mentioned, I am not going to discuss those subjects. These are the headings. Now, up to now, I have discussed 4 points. The other points are women health and gender mainstreaming, gender-based violence, support to supervision, emergency care and disaster preparedness, mainstreaming the potential of Ayush, there is the Indian system of medicine, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, and tertiary care services, human resources for health, medical education, attracting and retaining doctors in remote areas, specialist attraction and retention, mid-level service providers, nursing education, ASHA workers, paramedical skill, public health management cadre, public human resources governance and leadership development, and financing healthcare, collaboration with non-governmental sectors, oblique engagement with private sectors, regulatory framework, vaccine safety, medical technologies, public procurement, availability of drugs and medical devices, aligning other policies for medical devices and equipment with public health goals, antimicrobial resistance, health technology assessment, digital health technology ecosystem, health surveys, health research, governance, legal framework for healthcare and health pathway, and implementation of framework and way forward. These are the things discussed in the next policy. We are not with this entire now health policy has been covered. Dear students, now I'm summarizing. In your park, or if you go to some website, you will get a national program, national health program. Any program is supposed to orientate under these headings. So within the framework, if you have one idea, so you can assimilate the program and you can easily remember. So within this program of policy, so within the framework of the policy, there is a policy supposed to be there. So any program supposed to be, some policy will be there. You just see whether in the website or in the textbook policy whether mentioned or not. If policy is not mentioned, just give health for all, health in all. The health in all, health for all is a policy. So aims of the program, goals of the program, objectives of the program. So these are the development of program indicators. So with this, we'll have the development of program indicators. So say it is a some child health program. We'll have a child health mortality rate reduction. All these things will be there. Call it as program indicators are declining long term. These are all the long term, deciding long term targets. So program indicators always be long-term targets will be there. The strategies means which strategy is supposed to be taken to reduce this particular problem. So actually the action through which we supposed to work, all energy is supposed to flow to, address the problem in some point. So that is the weakest point where the disease, the problem will be addressed. So develop, that is exactly the activity basis. So development of process indicator, how many blood smears they taken, how many surveys they conducted, out of what, how many people are diagnosed, all these things. So these are called the process indicators. These are short-term targets. You call it as short-term targets. So third one is unit of activity. Every program will have an activity or activities. Many activities or activities. So endpoint beneficiary. Who is going to get it? In ICDS, say below 5 years children, 6 years children are going to get, pregnant women going to get the services, lactating women going to get the services, and adolescent girls are going to get the services. So these are the beneficiaries of the services. What are the services they supposed to provide it? So many activities, the health education, all these things, nutrition, universal immunization, some minor elements, treatment, all these things will be there. So that is the beneficiary thing, and endpoint services. So endpoint services, say for children, nutritional supplements will be there, growth monitoring will be there, and they will be given non-formal education. So school dropping outs will be reduced. All these things, and we are going to promote the turnover of going to the elementary education system from the Anganwadis. So actually extended elementary education has come. So in extended elementary education, the elementary schools will have Anganwadi teacher component also. So by the side of elementary schools, Anganwadi center will be there. So these are the things we're supposed to understand. The organization aspects, what is the structure, who is the head at state, central level, state level, district level, sub-district level, mandal level, sub-center level, at the village level. What is exactly happening? Who is the person responsible for entire activity? And what state supposed to do, what center supposed to do, what district officer supposed to do, what is the sub district officer supposed to do, what is the PSC's person's roles in the particular program. So ICDS person actually COPD will be there. What is the CDPD activities? What are the duties supposed to attend? What is the Anganwadi duties supposed to do? So these are the functions and supervision, monitoring. What are the things? These are things they support. And financial implication. The financial implication generally not been attached. But if you want to design a program, we're supposed to keep in our mind. If say I'm a designer of developing a program, so in that I will give a salary component, capital account, concurrent for recurrent expenditure. All these things, what are the infrastructure, what is the building, what is the equipment, all these things we supposed to calculate. This is the last one. So this is how the any program is supposed to address. If you go to the government website, we will see a number of national programs in following headings. So reproductive, maternal, neonatal, child and adolescent health care. So under this, these are all the programs are available. Government website, Janri Suraksha Yojana, all these things. Shisu Suraksha, Rashtriya Kishore Swastha Karyakramam, and Rashtriya Bala Swastha Karyakramam, Universal Immunization Program. You see, these are all the you can go into the websites of the government website. It is toply it is mentioned. You can write down and get it. And the National Nutritional Programs. These are the National Nutritional Programs. 7 programs are there. National Iodine Deficiency Disaster Control Program, Mother's Absolute Affection, MA program, and the National Program for Prevention and Control of Fluorosis, National Iron Plus Initiative for Anemia Control, National Vitamin A Prophylactic Program. These are the things ICDS is there like that. And communicable diseases control programs in integrated disease surveillance program is there, revised national tuberculosis control RNTCP, NLEP, and control of vector-borne diseases, control national AIDS control program, and pulse polio program, national viral hepatitis control program, national rabies control program, national program on containment of antimicrobial resistance. These are the programs are available. And another one, non-communicable diseases, control of non-communicable diseases. National programs are there. National Tobacco Control Program, National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular and Strokes, NPCDC, and National Program for Control of Treatment of Occupational Diseases, National Program for Prevention and Control of Deafness, National Mental Health Program, and National Program for Control of Blindness and Visual Impairment, Pradhan Mantri National Dialysis Program, National Program for Healthcare for Elderly, National Program for Prevention and Management of Burn Injuries, and National Oral Health Program. And the health system strengthening program, Ayushman Bharat Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Swastha Suraksha Yojana, like that, Labor Room Quality Improvement Initiative, and National Health Mission. Under National Health Mission, the Rural Health Mission and Urban Health Mission are there. Yeah, in our textbook, in our uh, in our textbook, these are following programs are mentioned. These are the programs you can see: National Vector born diseases control program, malaria, elimination of lymphatic paralysis, kala, ada, Japanese encephalitis, dengue fever, chikungunya fever. A national leprosy eradication program, revised national tuberculosis control program, national AIDS control program. All these things you can see in our park textbook. These are the things. So you can go through it, and as per the schedule, Balraj is going to give. Well, you're supposed to prepare the notes for the each program. It is self-explanatory, need not be explained properly because many aspects have been already addressed while we are discussing. And we are supposed to read all these things, and regular assessment programs you supposed to attend to analyze how far you understood and prepared for the particular chapter. So these are the things you can prepare properly. Thank you, one and all. This is actually it is experiment to me. The first time I'm recording, um, my flow of thought is disturbed many times, but I think I did satisfactorily at my time. Any doubts, if you come across, you can contact um, me. I don't know how you are going to contact me, but whatever questions reaches, I am going to address. And this is coordinated by Dr. Balaraju, and he is well versed in this Schoolology software. And thank you, one and all.